Why people understand better than they speak. There are many people, and have you ever noticed that there are some people who understand English language or any other foreign language very well, but when it comes to speak, they get stuck and they feel like they are fish out of water. If you are one of them, don't feel you alone, because you are not alone. There are many persons in the society who are facing this phenomena, who are facing this struggle. So we are going to discuss why this phenomena occurs and what scientific research says about it. Before starting the video, we have to listen and we have to analyze the language acquisition process. There are 4 main skills like reading, writing, listening, speaking. These are 4 basic skills. But it is also a reality that these 4 skills do not develop at the same rate. Some skills develop faster than the other skills. And it depends upon the environment, it depends upon the exposure to language. And it is also a reality that listening comes first. We try to listen since our childhood. Our mind is wired to pick up the sounds. That's why people understand better than they speak. But it is also a reality that this is not only the first factor, this is not only the final factor why people struggle with speaking English. There are also many other factors which we are going to discuss. The other factor is that speaking requires the production of words, sounds, expressions, and exact sentences at the spot without any further delay. That's why people face challenge to speak English at the spot. Unlike reading and listening, where you can use contextualized meaning and your existing knowledge, and we can assimilate, and we have the time to process the formation, and we have the time to think about the words, the expressions. Unlike this, speaking requires urgent response in form of speaking, in form of formation of words and expressions. For conveying the intended message, we need and we require sounds, exact sounds, expressions, words, phrases for the expression of intended sounds. And this requires fluency, grammatical accuracy, and our pronunciation. And this may be challenging for many speakers in the initial stage. Another factor which contribute a lot is that people don't step out of their comfort zone. Yes, dear audience, when you have to respond, when you have to answer, and when you have to speak at the spot, what requires is that you have to come out of your comfort zone. If you are in your comfort zone and you feel that you will make mistakes when you speak out, and by avoiding this kind of making mistakes is the biggest hurdle in speaking language. And anxiety, depression, fear of people, what people would say about me, what people say about my language, people will laugh at my language, and what will be the response of people, and I will be ridiculed by the people. These are some of the fears, psychological fears in our brain which hinder us to speak at once and to speak immediately. Basically, it is the fear of public which dominates in our speaking English fluently. That's why we use fillers like and these fillers give us the time to think. But it is also a reality that these fillers are conveying the message that we are less comfortable, we are less confident in our message, and we don't have the words required for the actual condition. That's why we are using fillers. So fillers are good thing, but overusing fillers is a negative point of your personality. You have to come out of your comfort zone in order to ready to speak in a lively manner. Challenge and accept your all fears. Accept your fears, you accept your mistakes, accept your that people will laugh. People will laugh at the beginning, but people will admire you at the last. If you keep on struggling, admit all these realities and get out of your comfort zone so that you can speak language in a better way. Next is that speaking a language requires a lot of practice. When you are speaking a totally new language and you are not practicing, practice makes a man perfect. Keep this thing in your mind. If you are not practicing, this will definitely hinder you. This will definitely a challenging position for you to speak at once before the public, to speak at once before any speaker in front of you. So the more you practice, the better you will be in speaking English effectively. So you have to practice a lot, and you can practice by joining online classes. You can practice by joining any public group, clubs, and you can even talk to yourself, but you have to make practice a lot before going to public. Language is not using the right words, phrases, expressions, sentences, vocabulary, words, grammatical structures in the right way. It is also because language is embedded in the culture, in the norms, in the social traditions. There are many facial expressions. We have the facial expressions, we have the body language, we have the postures, we have the gestures which convey the non-verbal message to the other person. So before going and before speaking another language, which is not our native language and which is a foreign language to us, which is a secondary language to us, we have to understand the cultural values of that society so that we can use the words in an appropriate way. Because the words and our body language and our facial expressions convey another meaning, which is totally in contrast with which we are conveying the message. Because language is a form of communication. With language we build relationship, with language we form connections, and with language we overcome the barriers of any other thing. So before going to language, it is deeply embedded in the culture. We have to understand the cultural norms of the other society so that we can use the language in a suitable way. These are some of the reasons why people understand English language better than they speak out, and you have to work on it in order to speak in a fluent manner. Don't use fillers in overuse, so that you may be less confident, you may be less comfortable, and you should have to practice a lot, because practice makes a man perfect. And you have to understand the cultural norms and values of English society, and for this you have to watch the movies, the actual conversation, so that you can understand English language better. And you have to come out of your comfort zone. Like English speakers speak too fast. This is a misconception, and you have to come out of these false notions and misconceptions. If they speak fast, we have to understand the contextual use of language which is occurring in the movies, which is occurring in the TV shows, and we have to understand the natural flow of words which the English language users use in their conversation. So all these points, when gathered together and we work on them, definitely you will come out of this problem, and you will not feel like a fish out of the water. If you like the video, kindly share and subscribe it so that you have many other videos on this topic and on the other topics relating to language learning. Stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.